Hello, my amazing first grade artists. This is Mrs. Fantz, and I'm here today because I understand that you are doing a really fun project right now with flat Miss Wittenberg and flat Mrs. Larson, and I am so excited about it. It sounds like lots of adventures that you're going to be talking about and sharing, and I understand you each have your own copy. I think this is Mrs. Larson that I have here, but I understand that maybe you'll be making your own version of your flat self. So I thought that sounded very fun, something you could send to someone else, and I thought I'd join in, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make my own flat version of Mrs. Fantz. So the first thing I need to think about is what I'm going to draw my flat self on. So I have some paper, just plain old printer paper, or from a notebook that I tore out on the page. Or if I want my flat Mrs. Fantz to be a little sturdier, a little stronger, I might choose some tagboard. And if I'm going to choose tagboard and draw on tagboard, I might want to look at the sides. There's one side that's really shiny and smooth, and then there's another side that's not as shiny, and it's still pretty smooth, but it's not as shiny, and that's the side you want to draw on because the marker won't smear, and crayons work better on there, and whatever you use to draw works best on the dull side. So I'm going to take that, I think. I'm going to use tagboard, but paper works pretty well too. If you want your paper versions of you to be a little sturdier, you could also draw them, cut them out, and glue them onto a piece of thin cardboard. I just got a box, a Ritz cracker box, and I cut some of it off, and I'm going to glue flat Mrs. Fantz to that too. So I'll show you how to do that later. But first, the next thing I guess I want to decide is if I'm going to mail this to somebody, I better make it a good size for mailing. I don't want it teeny tiny. I want it a nice size. This is a good one to carry around. So I could take flat Miss Larson or flat Miss Wittenberg and just trace. Nope, I'm going to tip my screen down so you can see. I could trace right around them and then cut that out and make that right size. Or I could think, well, here's the size envelope I'm going to use. There's this size, or there's the bigger size envelope, and I could trace that so that I know how big. I'm going to use this envelope, and I'm going to put it down on my tag board, and I'm just going to trace around that. And that way I know how big to make my flat Mrs. Fantz. And I know that it will fit inside my envelope. Actually, I might have to trim it down just a little smaller than that. But now I am ready to go. So I'm going to take my marker. You can use crayons or colored pencils or anything you have. I suppose you could even draw it and then paint it if you wanted. Your choice. So here I go. I'm going to start drawing flat Mrs. Fantz inside this rectangle that I just traced. So here I go. I'm going to get my head, my hair. Start by doing that. I better get my neck going and my shoulders. And it's my arm. Oops, I'm a little crooked, but that's okay. There. Ooh, no room for my shoes. I should have started higher on this, but that's okay. All right, I almost have it done now. I probably should put some hands, fingers. You can do it however you want. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put a little curve there so it looks like I've got a shirt on, and there, and some sleeves, and now I'm going to finish my head. Let's see, my hair kind of goes to the side like this, so I'm going to do that, and like that, and I'm going to get my eyes in there. Kind of football shape, lemon shape eyes, if you remember us talking about that a little bit in school. And then my smile. And I better get some eyeballs in my eyes. and some eyebrows. And my hair. There we go. Now in the background while I'm working, you might hear a little bit of pounding and yelling, and that is because right now while I'm doing this, my husband is fixing a broken pipe in our house. Our water is turned off and he is hoping that he can do that. Now I'm going to just take my markers and I'm going to add some color to my drawing really quickly. And you could pause the button if you want and get all your things and do this right along with me if you wanted to do that. And we could be making our flat selves together. There. Ooh, I've got some big hair. Let's see, blue eyes, that's the color my eyes are, so I'm going to get blue there. And let's see, red, I guess I'll or pink lips. Maybe I'll give myself pink lips. Let's see. Oh yeah, I like the pink lips. There. I think a green shirt. There. Now, if you have a favorite sports team or something like that, you could put that on your clothes. Or if you really love hearts or horses, or you could decorate your shirt with something like that if you wanted. Where's the purple? I think I want purple pants. Here's my purple pants. There we go. Almost done. And maybe some green shoes to match my green shirt. Oh, they're going to be just a little bit darker, actually. There we go. All right. Oh, and I think it'd be really cute. I think I want to just add a heart in the background. Do I have red? Yes. Or I could add something that, that I'm interested in, but I'm going to put a little heart in my picture too. Maybe one down here too. You can do it however you want. Okay, and now I'm going to just cut this out. Cut out my flat Mrs. Fantz, and I'll show you my cutting. There we go. I could even write my name on there. Maybe I will. I think I will. Almost done. My flat Mrs. Fantz. And I'm going to take my black marker again and write my name right across the top. Mrs. Fantz. And now it is ready. I can take this and I can write a little note to whoever I'm going to mail it to, and I can see I might have to trim off a little bit. It's a little bit big for the envelope, so I'm just going to trim off the edges a little bit. Ooh, I could even write the message on the back of my flat Mrs. Fantz if I wanted, but it will fit right inside that envelope now. Let's see, just like that. And there she goes. She is ready for an adventure with whoever I send this to. So that's flat Mrs. Fantz. I'm going to take a minute though. Here's another Mrs. Fantz that I did just on paper, just thin paper, but I want to make her a little sturdier so that she will just be stronger. So I'm going to take my flat Mrs. Fantz and I'm going to put a little glue on the back. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to take a little glue. You could use a glue stick too, and that would be a nice way to do it. But I'm going to put a little glue right on the back, all the way around the edges, and a little bit in the middle. And then I'm going to actually put it on here, and I'm going to take my finger. This is a little messy, but I'm going to spread the glue way to the edges of my paper, because that'll help the whole thing stick all the way down, way even to the edges. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to stick it down onto that cardboard and press it down nice and smooth. And then you could probably cut this out yourself, or if you're just having trouble with it, ask an adult to help you cut it out so that you could send your, because it's cardboard, it's a little stiff, but it's not too bad. It's thin cardboard, it's not too bad to cut. There we go. I could do it like this. And the kind of funny thing about this is whoever I mail it to will figure out that I like Ritz crackers. So anyway, my first graders, I hope you really enjoy all your adventures with Miss Wittenberg, Flat Miss Wittenberg, and Flat Mrs. Larson. And now I have my own flat versions of myself I could send to somebody. I hope you have fun making a flat version of yourself too. Have a terrific day creating art.